Is there such thing as a perfect anime? Well, no, obviously not. Now, we have our favorites, of course, and some of us would call our favorite anime perfect, but let's be honest, every anime has some flaw to it in some sense. Well, in today's video, I'm attacking that problem. Today, we're going to be building the perfect anime out of anime I have seen before. So we're going to take many different categories like intro, characters, all that different stuff, and we're going to take the best from every anime I have seen, and we're going to put it all into one, and hopefully it makes a perfect anime. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be like story colliding, right? Like, we're not going to put, let's just say, Deku into the Demon Slayer universe, because obviously that wouldn't work. But let's say if Deku is our protagonist and we choose our world for Demon Slayer, which is not the case, you know, that we're just taking the best of those worlds, if that makes sense, because I'm putting this stuff together would make it horrible, and removing stuff and putting it together makes it even worse than what it is. Yeah, so anyway, you guys understand why we're not doing that. We're gonna get started right here, right now. So for intro, the best introduction. Now, this isn't the song, because I've seen that comment before when I've talked about intro. They start talking about the opening. I'm not talking about the opening. We have a music section. For intro, I think the best show, like starting out, is probably Black Clover. There are a few different options, but the first few episodes of Black Clover are genuinely phenomenal and get you hooked into the show right away. And I obviously love Black Clover, and there is going to be bias in this video. Like I said, it's only based on anime I have seen before. And if you guys want to see more of me, make sure to hit the subscribe button, man. I upload anime videos 3 times a week, and it helps me out a lot. And you can always unsubscribe if you don't enjoy. But next we'll move on to protagonist. The best protagonist of all time, and the best anime main character of all time. Which, wait, that's the same thing. I meant the best character straight up of all time is Spike Spiegel. Spike Spiegel is going to be our protagonist. I think he is the best main character we have ever seen in any anime. I absolutely love Spike, and to me, that's just because he's so relatable to me. I feel like I'm exactly like Spike. Like, if I was in his position, I'd probably do everything just like he did. But once we move past Spike, we have the Deuteragonist, which is like the secondary main character, and this one was tough. At first, I was thinking Reigen Arataka, and if you want him, I could totally get that, but I ended up switching it to Osamu Dazai. I think Dazai is incredible. People watch Bungo Stray Dogs literally just for Dazai. That's how good he is. So I would go Dazai for Deuteragonist. He is very good. For sidecast, this one was very easy for me. I went with Naruto. Naruto has like at least 50 characters in the sidecast that matter to the story, which is like such a high number. I mean, the important characters in Naruto's sidecast is ridiculous, and they all have a good place in the story, which is nice. So if we have a sidecast similar to Naruto's, I think that would make for the perfect anime. And sorry to spoil, you're going to see a lot of Naruto stuff on here. Naruto is my favorite anime for a lot of reasons, because I think it's the best at a lot of stuff. However, female cast is not one of the things I think it is the best in. I actually gave female cast to My Hero. I can't remember what I was debating between. There was another anime I was debating for My Hero as well, but I do think My Hero wins female cast just because Ochako is great. You have Toga, you have Mount Lady, you have Miss Midnight, you have Mirko. Like, there's so many great female characters within My Hero, and especially Ochako. I like her a lot. She's really cool. So I think I kind of went with more quantity. There's probably shows like, for example, like in Cowboy Bebop, Faye Valentine is probably better than the entirety of My Hero's female cast. But it's only one character, so I went with My Hero because you have a lot of quality there, and you have a lot of quantity as well, so it kind of rounds out our cast. Then for villain cast, this one was incredibly easy. This is easily going to Naruto. I don't think there's any anime that has better villains than Naruto. Every villain is super important, from Mitsuki all the way, or Mizuki, sorry, from all the way to the Akatsuki. Yeah, every villain other than Kaguya is like amazing in Naruto, and I don't know if there's a show that even comes close, so Naruto pretty easily for villain cast. And obviously for best villain, we're going to go with Madara as well from Naruto. In my opinion, the best villain in all of anime. If you were to say like Johan, I think that'd be fair, but I do prefer Madara over Johan, so yeah, sorry. And then best character, we already said it earlier, Spike Spiegel. I don't need to speak on that too much. Plot/story. This is where we kind of leave that realm and go a little bit, well, I shouldn't say back, because both Cowboy Bebop and Naruto came out after this, or before this, sorry. But we have Fullmetal Alchemist for the plot and story. I think Fullmetal for the plot and story is great. Honestly, one of the best written stories I have ever seen in anything. Just absolutely phenomenal. It is, the story in Fullmetal is absolutely perfect. So I would go with a story similar to Fullmetal's. And then for emotion, apparently this was a hot take, which I don't really understand, but I went with Mob Psycho 100. I remember I made a list talking about the most emotional anime, and I had Mob Psycho at number 1. And there were a lot of comments just saying that Mob Psycho wasn't even emotional at all, and to me that is confusing. You must not have watched the show. Like, if you genuinely say there's not emotion in Mob Psycho, I think you seriously need to go to a doctor, because there's, like, genuinely, I don't know how you could not feel something watching that. It is seriously the most emotional show I've ever watched. I really don't understand people that don't think it's emotional. I don't know. I think they were just lying, because a lot of them were like, oh, I watched the show, but let's be honest, Mob's just about the fights, which it's not at all. Not even close to being about the fights, by the way. So, yeah, I think they were just LARPing to just hate on Mob being number one, because Mob is super emotional. Then for depth, this one's very difficult, because you could go with so many different things. You go with, like, Code Geass, Death Note, like, so many different other ones. I went with Cowboy Bebop just because it is so in-depth to me personally, right? Like, there's a lot of personal stuff I relate to in Cowboy Bebop with both Faye and Spike, so I think if we had the depth of Cowboy Bebop, it would be perfect for me. If you were to go with, like, there's so many other shows you could pick from, like I said, Monster, Death Note, even Death Parade, like, so many different other anime that are extremely in-depth. I get that, but I am going to go with Cowboy Bebop just because it's personalized for me. Then for designs, this is very easy for me. It's Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is a pretty mid show when you talk about the story and everything like that, but the characters are one thing that Fairy Tail does not mess up on. I mean, they look phenomenal. If you are not familiar with Fairy Tail, especially if you look at the manga, I would really recommend looking at some of the Fairy Tail official covers, or just look at Fairy Tail official artworks. It's beautiful. They look absolutely amazing. I could get people saying JoJo's, but to me, I think the designs in Fairy Tail are a lot more, I don't want to say grounded, but sometimes the designs in JoJo's can get like way too much. And they are incredible, don't get me wrong. I would have JoJo's number 2, and if you have JoJo's, I get it. But for me, Fairy Tail doesn't get too crazy, but like it's still, every character is still unique enough that they all are original and they all look amazing. So that's why I'm going to give design slightly to Fairy Tail. If you have JoJo's, I get it. Backstories, to me, this is pretty easily Naruto. Some of the most in-depth backstories in all of anime, like the Kakashi backstory, Itachi's backstory. I mean, I could go on and on about all the different backstories, and they're all incredible. And we kind of have a three-peat here, so I'm going to go quickly. For peaks, we also have Naruto. It's my favorite anime, so of course it has the best peaks. And then plot twist, okay, this one should pretty easily be Naruto. I'm trying to think if anything else is really that much better, because like a lot of the other shows, like let's say Monster has a lot of plot twists, or I shouldn't even say a lot of plot twists, but it has some really good plot twists, of course. That's kind of what the show is based on. However, Monster's kind of short. Naruto's like 1,000 episodes and so many different plot twists in it, so that's why I have Naruto, because not only are the plot twists in Naruto like incredible, some of the best in all of anime, but they are also so frequent. Like you have a lot of plot twists in Naruto, which is why I think it makes it so great. Now, I could see if you wanted to go with one of the shorter ones, like Code Geass or like Monster. I totally do get that, but for me, I like quality and quantity, and Naruto provides both, whereas those two shows don't have as much quantity. They just have really high quality. And then for best arc, if we have an arc similar to this, I think it'd be great. I'm going with the Dark Tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho. I do genuinely believe that is the best arc in all of anime, at least that I can think of, because I went through all the anime that I've watched and none of them passed it for me. Maybe I'm like forgetting something, but the Dark Tournament for me is a phenomenal arc, and I think the best arc in all of anime, at least from what I've seen. Then for pacing, this one was really tough. I was gonna go with I was gonna go with Hunter x Hunter at first, and I saw a lot of people complain that like Hunter x Hunter doesn't have good pacing, and I don't understand that. I feel like Hunter x Hunter is arguably the best paced anime of all time. Like it is actually incredible how well it's paced. And I saw people like, oh, well, that's the biggest thing Hunter x Hunter gets hate for is its pacing. And I'm like, that just cannot be true. Its pacing is phenomenal. So if it's getting hate for its pacing, then it must be perfect or something, because that shit's good. But I went with Full Metal. I mean, it's kind of similar to Hunter x Hunter in its pacing. But I just went with Full Metal because it's like, there is not a wasted moment in Full Metal, but they also don't rush anything. Like, every single second of Full Metal is absolutely important to the story, and it is so phenomenal. So that's why I went with Full Metal. Humor, we're finally getting away from a lot of shonen. I mean, we've had some non-shonen already, but for humor, I went with GTO. I mean, GTO is hilarious if you guys have seen it. It's so funny, so yeah, that one's pretty easy for me. World building, I mean, this is a no-brainer. This is One Piece. And then for animation is super tough because, like, if you're talking about an entire show in general, I would go Naruto, which a lot of people may think is crazy, but, like, the choreography in Naruto is genuinely phenomenal. But I'm going to get specific, and I'm going to say One Piece when animated by Vincent. I think his name is Vincent Chissard or something like that. That dude is the best animator I've seen in my entire life. You get the choreography, you get the flashing lights, you get the smooth transitions, you get everything with Vincent. So if I can nitpick from an anime, I would definitely say Vincent, you know, like his One Piece scenes. Those are absolutely incredible. Zoro versus King is one of the most beautiful fights I've ever watched. Enjoyment, I mean, it's going to go Naruto. It's my favorite anime. Power system, I'm also going to give it to Naruto. I could see Nen or Stans. I know a lot of people really like Nen a lot, but to me, Nen is kind of limited, whereas Chakra kind of feels like unlimited to me. And Chakra, I feel like Nen is probably the most in-depth power system, which is why people like it so much, but I think Chakra is a lot more interesting than Nen, which is why I have it ahead. And Stans are more interesting than both of them. However, Stans are only to limited people, and I like the idea of anybody can get more strong, which is why I like Chakra, because anybody can improve their Chakra use. So I'm going to go with Naruto. It's my favorite power system. Fights, this is very easily Naruto. There's very few anime that could even contend. Yeah, there's very few. Like, again, this is one where it has really high quality and really high quantity, so it'd have to be a show like that. So, and One Piece fights aren't that good. Bleach fights are decent, so maybe that, but like Dragon Ball could contend. I think Dragon Ball would definitely be maybe my number 2, just thinking about it right now, but not 100% sure. So yeah. And then music, I'm also going to give it to Naruto. Naruto has one of the best OSTs in all of anime. Not the best, like Bleach's OST is definitely better, but Naruto's OST is still phenomenal. It's still top 10 OST. Outros, has top 10 outros in all of anime. Intros, top 10 intros in all of anime. Like, you see what I'm saying? It just has so much good music that's hard not to take it. It has a very little selection of bad music as well. Like, there's so much music from Naruto that is genuinely listenable outside of the anime. That's how good it is. And we'll move on lastly to the ending here. And the ending, I mean, I think this is the best ending in all of anime that I've seen. You know, maybe there's something that's better, but I'm going to go with Code Geass. I think the ending of Code Geass is genuinely phenomenal. And of course, we're not combining all this together because none of it would work. However, if we took Spike and placed him with Lelouch, I do think it would work in Code Geass. So, you know, I guess that's not a bad collaboration there, but yeah, it's not really we can't really combine them because this show would be shit if all this was combined, which is crazy. You know, you combine the best part of every anime and it still is bad. So I think this is probably my perfect anime that I built. I know there's going to be a lot of hot takes in here, and, you know, maybe you guys don't agree, maybe you do, but let me know down in the comments. You know, I'm down to always talk about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Peace.